say generally around that age, men may, are looking to kind of settle down, especially for the most part, I would assume around your late 20s, you're looking to kind of settle down. So once again, it depends on how old he is, and that we are not ready. What makes him say that we are not ready? Are you guys not financially ready, spiritually ready, mature ready? I mean, what makes him think that you guys are not ready? I mean, is that a particular question that you've asked him to expand upon? And if he says it's like financially, spiritually, whatever his response is there a plan in place to get you guys to being ready? I just want to, ask that question. Is there a plan in place? Because if he's serious about being with you and you're the one he wants to marry, if he says that you guys are not ready, is there a plan in place? Because once again, men are hunters, and if he wants to pursue marriage with you, he's going to have a plan in place. Not saying that it's going to be perfect, but he will have a plan in place. And if he has a plan in place, then I think, you guys may want to start looking into getting counseling, and not even necessarily marriage counsel because he hasn't proposed or anything, but just counseling overall, relationship counseling. Because like I said, relationships, no matter what stage, dating, friendship, marriage, takes work. It is two people coming from various backgrounds, upbringings, etc., and they're trying to make it work. So what plan does he have in place? And like I said, counseling is advised. Is something good that you should go to. I wasn't raised to live with a man before marriage, but I felt like that was so old school. So that is why I moved in. Honey, we've all been there and done that. Me for one. We get advice from our parents and we're like, Mom, Dad, you guys so old. Nobody does that anymore. But yet, time tells and time reveals itself that it is wise counseling. I mean, I've done that plenty of times where, hey, my parents doesn't know what they're talking about. And we go out here and like, wow, they really did know what they were talking about. This is some good advice. So, kudos to your parents for raising you up that way. I definitely was raised the same way as far as not moving in. And then definitely, like I said, I'm assuming that you have a Christian background. Is that one of the reasons that you don't move in prior to marriage is one, temptation, and two, abstaining from the appearance of evil. So I'm just going to assume that you guys are not sexually active. You never know. So given that the fact that you are not sexually active, then you are perhaps given the appearance that you guys are. Because more than likely in the modern dating times, we're pretty much having sex before marriage. It's going down. Pretty much we're going to test drive it before we decide to buy it. So that is one reason why you want to not move in prior to marriage, to abstain from the appearance of it. And then back to the first one, which is temptation, especially if you are attracted to each other. And I'm assuming that's why you're dating. Well, part of it, because you don't want to date someone you're not attracted to. So given that you guys move in together, I'm assuming that you sleep in the same bed. Temptation is there. And if the mood hits and the mood is just right, then it's going down. So, that's another thing. And I don't know. I mean, having sex before marriage is something that I would say has become cliche. I had sex prior to marriage, but I have been celibate now for 6 years now. At the age of 20, I said, hey, I'm going to do this thing. Then at 21, I slipped up. Then I went straight again. And at 25, I slipped up. I just kind of told my age there. But, so I believe in abstaining from sex prior to marriage, and it's something that takes a lot of strength to do. I had to read Galatians 5 over and over again to keep myself strong. And definitely with my fiance now, definitely abstaining from sex prior to marriage. We had the same beliefs in house as far as that, because we wanted to be something special together. And we've been together about 3 years, so right around that time frame. So once again, kudos for your parents for their upbringing, but definitely take their advice. I don't necessarily believe in moving in prior to marriage. I mean, a lot of people like to figure out if it's going to work or not, but I believe in not moving in prior to marriage. I'm starting to feel as if it was a bad deal, the bad deal as far as moving in prior. I want to be a wife and not someone's permanent girlfriend. So definitely, I don't know necessarily your standards or anything of that nature, but you have to set a standard. Like I said, men are hunters, so they're going to go after. One thing my pastor says is that women, we are the temperature gauge of the relationship. We can make it hot as we want to, make it all steamy, muy caliente, and put it down, or we can make it as cold, and he gonna sit there and be just as cold with us. And cold meaning we not giving up the goodies. So, women, we have to set the standard in the relationship, because if he truly wants you and wants to be with you, he is going to pursue you. If you say, hey, we're not having sex before marriage, and he is about that life and really loves you, then we're not having sex before marriage, and he's going to be there with you. If he's not, he's going to get gone. He's going to get ghosted. And then I would just say, I have something I wrote down as well that I want to read, and I hope this helps you. The modern dating approach tells us that the way to figure out whether I want to marry someone is to act like we are married. If we like it, we make it official. If we don't, then we go through something emotionally and probably physically, like a divorce. In biblical dating, scripture guides us as to how to find a mate and marry. The Bible teaches, among other things, that we should act in such a way so as not to imply a marriage level commitment until commitment exists before the Lord. So pretty much the modern way how we date now is that we act like we're married, pretty much moving in, acting like a wife, cooking, cleaning, doing everything without the official title, because it makes us feel good. And I fell into that I guess trap. I've done it before, because it makes us feel good, the thought of being someone's wife. Like, oh my gosh, I'm wanted. It's it's a lovely idea, but yet we're not officially married. We're pretty much that permanent girlfriend that's there, and you don't want to fall into that trap. But that's pretty much the world's way of doing it. We act like we're married. We go through the whole routine and everything, but it hasn't been official. While biblically, people say we court. Pretty much before we say we're going to go into this dating, I pretty much know that you are husband material and that I want to be with you. I guess me, for example, I guess my current fiance, we talked for a while, and it wasn't until I truly knew that I loved him that I said, hey, I'm going to give this a try, meaning I believe that you're husband material, and I want to see if it's going to work out. And so we did that, and of course, we're together. We didn't have sex. We haven't moved in together. When we hung out pretty much with other people, sometimes. Well, it's real old school though. But it was lovely. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing when you do it God's way. So before I keep rambling on, I hope that I've helped the young lady. If you have any questions that you want me to answer, please send me an email to livebyfaithbrand@gmail.com. Once again, that email is livebyfaithbrand@gmail.com. And if you want to get my book, The S Factor, The Guide to Being Single, Satisfied, and Saved, you can go to livebyfaithbrand.com/shop. 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 Definitely. So I thank you so much for tuning in for Talking Out Thursdays. Once again, I'll be on the second and fourth Thursday of every month at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I thank you so much for your time, and I ask that you have a wonderful evening. And remember to continue to take steps of excellency, and you will leave behind a trail of greatness. Until next time, love you all and have a great night.